Optimus Prime, I know you're not evil. I believe in you. You gotta fight it. Don't
Good afternoon, ladies and
give
gentlemen. It's your buddy, 14th Prime, and today got some really interesting news. First of all, Rise of the Beasts 2 and 3 pretty much have been confirmed. Stephen CAPLE Jr. had a interview a couple days ago or whatever, and he was discussing the whole Bayverse and the continuity of Transformers and if, like, all the movies should match up. This is what he had to say in a nutshell, and I love this. He said, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. To him, the movies were basically standalone movies. And that's the way you should look at it. And I totally agree. Each one should not, don't look at it as though they should continue from such and such story or whatever. And I mean, look at it. You know, the first three, we had Shia LaBeouf. The next three, we had Mark Wahlberg. These next three, you know what I mean, doesn't have to do with any of those. I mean, there will, of course, be little things that not necessarily tie them together on purpose, but like he said, they should be looked at as standalone movies. And he said, and I quote, the first one, Transformers, was a classic. The third one was the best action in any Transformers movie ever. He also said, you know, the third one was really good. I forgot how much action was in the third one. It was a good movie. I just didn't like the human aspects of it. I didn't like the college story. I did like The Pretender. That was cool. But yeah, he said, you know, it had some of the best battles, and it was really good. And I totally agree. But he said if we try to hold on to what the other storyline and timeline was, we'd definitely be in trouble. Because there's so many loose ends and things that, you know, like Mirage being Dino, you know what I mean? Like, basically forget what you've seen. I mean, you know, just look at each one of them as a standalone movie. The Bayverse is not dead, though. And he was saying that, you know, at some point, he doesn't think anybody knew what they were doing when it came to 4 and 5. He was like, I think they just freestyled it. No one had any idea what they were doing. He said, basically, they're all soft reboots in their own way of Bayverse. At the same time, he said Bayverse is far from dead. And it's instead fragmented in that anything can happen from here on out, thanks to the story of the transwarp keys. So, you know, some of them might be separate timelines. Some might be like a multiverse or a separate universe where these things are happening. Because he was saying that if you look at it like this, in his movie, in Rise of the Beasts, Optimus came and was like, you brought a human here, but yet if you were trying to tie that into, you know, the first Transformers movie with Shia LaBeouf, it wouldn't make sense because that was supposedly Optimus's first time being on Earth. So with that being said, he was like, you know, all we're going to do is make sure our stories tie together, meaning Rise of the Beasts 1, 2, and 3. So there you have it. It's been confirmed. 2 and 3 are coming. I mean, we knew that anyway. They don't just do one Transformers movie. Whether you look at it as a part 2 to Bumblebee, which actually, now I think about it, if they were to do that and just make one more Rise of the Beast and consider Bumblebee the first one, Rise of the Beast the second, and then this being the third, I'd be fine with that. Because I hate waiting 4 or 5 years for a movie trilogy to all come together. You know, of course, we had Transformers 1 coming next summer, and then supposedly Rise of the Beast 2 coming summer after next. So, 2026. So, but with that being said, he basically was just saying Bayverse is not dead. They're going to keep using, you know, little things here and there, but with his own twist. And I thoroughly enjoy it. I think, to me, still Rise of the Beast is, to me, one of the best Transformers movies that we've gotten. He's absolutely right. The first one was awesome, just because we all couldn't wait to see a Transformers movie. Second one, to me, was one of my personal favorites because of all the action in the beginning, the Shanghai scene, where we got to see RC, Chromia, and Moonracer, where we got to see the motorcycle girls for the first time, and that chase through the building and all that stuff was awesome. Like, I literally have watched Transformers 2, just the first, you know, couple minutes, a million times. You know, like, I didn't care to see the rest of the movie. I just wanted to watch the Shanghai scene. I've done it in stop motion I don't know, so search my channel, go down like 4 or 5 years. I've done that part, the motorcycle scene, I know at least 3 or 4 times in stop motion. But yeah, so what do we get from this? We will be getting 2 and 3. What else do we get from this? Bayverse is not dead. A little bit of toy news, which is not really something that I'm into, but y'all just might. Oh, you know, matter of fact, actually, this is how it ties in. Did anyone notice that Mirage's helmet looks like a baseball cap on backwards? Or like he's got headphones on, but backwards? I think that was a nod to the whole Brooklyn, New York thing, and I think it's awesome. But anyway, they've got these masks, these voice-changing Mirage masks and voice-changing Primal masks. I think it says that they're $300 a piece. I'm gonna need it to transform by itself and talk for me for $300. But yeah, we were watching it, and that's another thing I want to talk about. Is Rise of the Beast better now that you can watch it at home? Because I loved it in the theater. Do not get me wrong, loved it every time we saw it. But watching it at home is way better. And I like the fact that the scenes are extended, so you get the full 2 hours and 7 minutes of the movie, as opposed to, and you don't even realize it. You know what I mean? There'll be little subtle parts that you'll be like, wait a minute, that wasn't in the theater. But I didn't notice it until like my 12th time watching it here. I literally have watched it, or we have watched it at night, like to go to sleep to. I watch it when I wake up in the morning, like while I'm doing house stuff or setting up videos or whatever. I have it playing constantly. I've gotten my $24.99 out of, or actually we bought it on 2 different platforms. But anyway, I've gotten my $50 worth of watching that movie already in the first week, and it's not going to stop. I can literally watch this movie, just like the Transformers G1 movie, the 86 movie. I could literally watch it all day on repeat and not get tired of it. Certain things I can watch like that, but other things I do not have the attention span to watch. Like I couldn't watch an Avengers movie over and over and over, or a Spider-Man movie. As much as I love Spider-Man, I'm not watching it over and over and over. This, I'll watch this over and over and over. And I'm just glad to say that we now know, like I said, we knew before, but we now know that there will be a 2 and a part 3. And he was saying how, that was the other thing Stephen CAPLE said was, you know, when they did Unicron being Earth, he was like, that just kind of, no. You know what I mean? That doesn't work. So, and at the same time, it's not that we are supposed to forget about that, but the way that they're explaining it is that that was just a piece of Unicron that could have fell, you know what I mean? Or a piece of him that was in orbit, landed in the desert somewhere. That's not Unicron, you know what I mean? But now we finally get him, hopefully. But we will. I'm happy with what we got in the first movie. So this will definitely be one of those movies, meaning part 2 and part 3, that they should be looked at as standalone, but at the same time, they will all coexist together. So anyway, it's your buddy 14th Prime. I'm working on the Nemesis fighting the Ark, and I'm also doing the Rise of the Beast scenes. I'm waiting on my freezer to deliver, not kitchen freezer, I'm talking Rise of the Beast freezer, because I got everybody else, and I just felt like, and I had somebody that I was using as a freezer. I was using this guy. And funny story, I didn't even know I had this. I happened to be going through some of my toy boxes and was trying to make room for more toys and was throwing away boxes, and happened to open a box, and this had been sitting in there for about a year. I had no idea. He came with blackout. But yeah, so I was using these as freezers, and I was like, just get him. Man, just buy it. Why not? So once my freezers get here, y'all are in for a super treat. Anyway, it's your buddy 14th Prime. Sorry for taking 10 minutes of your time. Y'all have a good day.